encouraging experience as well as your positive outlook on that call. Our third experience will be from Sister Nina Money. Now, Sister Money, to ask you this question, could you please share with us how were you able to start a conversation?
Well, I was also doing phone witnessing. I called to speak to a Hindi-speaking family on the territory, and an older woman picked up the phone who is hard of hearing. So she ended up handing the phone over to her nurse. Now, her nurse is Urdu speaking and works 7 days a week, so she herself is never at home. I was able to start a conversation with her about how she was doing with the conditions during the pandemic and to see what she thought about the world situation. She mentioned that her brother had recently passed away to an illness. But during the conversation, I was able to find out that she's an avid Bible reader. And so she was so happy to hear me read Isaiah 41:10. And I really enjoyed the conversation that we had, which lasted over a half hour.
Excellent. So I know you enjoyed that conversation with the nurse. Now, when were you able to feature publications from our teaching toolbox?
Well, while we were still on the phone, I was able to exchange contact information with the woman since she didn't live at the house that I had originally called. I used the initial call presentation from the meeting workbook about the last days, which featured 2 Timothy 3, and I was also able to send her the jw.org website in Urdu. I called 2 days later, and we spoke about the hope for the future and presented the Teach Us book, which I sent to her as a link.
Excellent. So what a good example of utilizing our midweek meeting training on introducing the sample conversation, sharing the website, as well as a Teach Us book link. Very good. Now, how have you been able to cultivate this interest further?
Well, on the first call, the woman was so enthusiastic that she said the householder also needed to hear about this information, so she handed the phone back. The older woman still couldn't really hear me, and she ended up to speak a different language. So I was able to contact a sister who called her that very day and spoke to her in her language, and she is now an active return visit. The next time I called on the Urdu-speaking woman, she didn't have a lot of time to talk, but despite that, we were able to go over to 2 pages of the Teach Us book and read several scriptures together. Though she is hard to reach, she really enjoyed hearing the promises from the Bible and eagerly expressed that the solution to mankind's problems lies with God and not man. So I keep trying, and I look forward to further conversations with her and hope that she responds to the good news.
Thank you very much, Sister Money, Sister Brooks, Brother Clark. We appreciate